Now, today is a very exciting day because not only will I be spending the day with my good friend Gillies and helping him clear out his garden with all my friends from Pembrokeshire, but I've got a special delivery. But not just one, two special deliveries. Now, if you guys couldn't tell by the name of the channel, I'm a bit of a nerd when it comes to technology. And even more so, I'm a nerd when it comes to camera gear, because since starting the channel, I've been trying very hard to figure out what it is that I need and the style of filming, experimenting with certain things. And it's a journey, and you end up buying a load of equipment. The lens that's on this camera right now is very heavy, I soon realized, not quite wide enough, not ideal for travel. So I've just been doing tons of research, and I mean hours of research online, trying to figure out what lens is appropriate for the content that I'm creating. And I've landed on 16mm. And whilst that's probably a bit too wide for my preference, it's really the only size that comes close to my needs. It's capable of doing the wide angle that I want, but also zooming. So that's the other aspect. It needs to be able to zoom. I will not be keeping either of these lenses unless they truly exceed my expectations. I won't be keeping any of these lenses. I just want to try them out whilst I'm in the UK, when Amazon is just easy to use and I can send and return things. I'm just trying these out to see which one suits my need. Enough with the chat. Let's just open them up and take a look at them. So this is the Sony. It is so much smaller than the lens that I have on there. This is a 16-70. Extends a lot more than I thought it would. Maybe I dreamed that, but I felt like I only extended a little bit the last time I checked. But yeah, this is a 16-70 actually. That's interesting. 16-70 there. I'll put that there just for your viewing pleasure. And then this is the Sigma 16-28. So once again, 16-28, so not as much zoom as that, but you can see the size difference already, the weight difference. Really the differentiating factors between these two is, as I say, this, well, first of all, this has a manual automatic focus switch, which I do use a lot, to be fair. But the real differentiating factors of these is that this one, while stops down to 2.8, which is good in low light and gives that beautiful shallow depth of field, and this only goes to 4. I need to test tonight whether 4 is enough in low light situations. But also this has optical steady shot. This one doesn't. The problem is I've got a fairly old camera, and the steady shot inside the camera isn't as good. So this helps me a little bit. Now, I'm in a problem because maybe one day I'll update this camera, or maybe one day, well, this camera is falling apart. I'll show you images of how much it's falling apart, but I do want to keep that camera going as much as possible. So really, it's 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. And I just need to put these through their paces to work out which one is good. Let's do a little play around with these and see which one kind of comes out on top in this quick little thing before I head over to Gillies. All right, there's a test. Fully extended, a bit closer. It's a lot lighter than this bad boy, which is 24-70. This goes a little bit closer. The 24 is 28. That's 28. So a little bit better for portraits, I guess. That's the only other problem with these ones is when it's internally zooming, so I can't see it move to and forward and backwards, which is nice and compact, good for gimbals, but I don't know if it's zoomed in on my face right now because I don't have a flip out screen. Another problem with my setup, but that's for another day. You probably don't need to hold it out all that much. Probably can just get away with holding it there, because you tell me, like, I'm not a fan of the super wide. I know it's quite popular with vlogs to go with the super wide, but I'm just not a fan. I probably will be cropping in just to kind of reduce the shake. So if I do a walk around, the other one has stabilization, but I bought the both to test whether it being so wide you can kind of get away with the stabilization. But I suppose holding it this close doesn't look as obnoxious as I have to hold it right out there, which kind of draws a lot of attention and whatever. But I can just quite discreetly, just walking around, quite discreetly, just kind of, yeah, hold it, you know, I don't know if you can see that, hold it like there. But the image looks pretty good after watching it back. Walk down the stairs. I suppose as well, because I can hold it closer, I've got a bit more stability. Again, when you're holding it out there, you're just kind of like your arms wobbling or whatever, whereas I hold it like that, I've got a bit more strength in the arm. So after putting this in, I'm already thinking they've either sent me the wrong one or I've bought the wrong one. In fact, yes, I have just looked, I bought the wrong one. I thought that zoomed quite a lot, really. That's insane, but I need to try the 16 to 35 is the one I should have got. So I've ordered that, it will come tomorrow, but yeah, already got to send this one back. What a failure!
Oh, and look at these little fellas. Look at these little fellas. Look at you. Yes, you're so cute. They always want to be touched. They always want to be touched.
Okay, I sort of kind of lied to you. All that stuff was filmed a couple of days before I'm meant to be going to my mate Gillies. I'm actually supposed to be going to Gillies today. I ordered another lens. It was supposed to show up yesterday, but God, it's raining. It was supposed to show up yesterday, but DPD decided just not to deliver it. So I've ordered it again and it's arriving today, and I'm kind of hanging around this morning before going to Gillies to try out this lens, basically. The things I do for this channel, the things I do for this camera. And here it is. Plus a replacement screen for the back of my camera. So let's crack this open and have a little look. This color box does weird things to my, I don't know, it just gives me a dopamine rush for some reason. Again, I'm not going to be keeping either of these lenses. I prefer to buy, if I'm experimenting, I prefer to buy second-hand lenses, because then when you use them for a long amount of time, they're not going to, this is a lot bigger than I thought it was going to be. F4, oh no, it's just the bag, hope. Yeah, if I'm experimenting with lenses, I buy them second-hand, because then you're not going to really lose a lot of value on them. Whereas if you buy first-hand lenses, you're going to already lose half the value of the lens. So, oof, that is, yes, marginally heavier than the one that's on there, the 16mm that's on there. So just to recap as well, the benefits to this one, there we go. The benefits to this one is as optical image stabilization, which that one doesn't. And looking back at the footage from the other day, I'm quite happy with stabilizing the footage in post. It looks all right. There's a little bit of wobbliness, but I'm quite happy with it. But this does have optical image stabilization. It's a lot more expensive, that one, a lot heavier, and it's f4 as well, which, as I say, doesn't do well in low light. So really, the reason why I would go to this, and also it's a weird thing where that's zoomed, whereas this is 16mm, which is going to be weird to get used to, but it is what it is. So the pros of this one are basically image stabilization, and the extra zoom, because this goes to 35, whereas this goes only to 28, which is bit of a big deal. Like, I'd like a bit more zoom. So let's whack it on, see what it looks like, and have a little play. Here we go. So once again, you're not going to see any more, any less field of view or any more field of view. In fact, I need to whack my ND filter on. But what you will probably notice is less depth of field, which isn't so bad because, again, when you've got such a massive field of view and most of the video is blurry, or sorry, most of what you're seeing is blurry and I'm not, it's kind of weird to have so much out of focus. But let's just do a little walk around as we did earlier. This is probably where the optical image stabilization will come in handy. Just kind of go and do the old walk around. Walk around. So as I say, I'm sort of hoping the other one is fine. And that the zoom is okay, because this one is significantly more expensive. Although actually, to be fair, if I buy them secondhand, they're both roughly about 500, 600 pounds, something like that. So there's that. And then we just gonna get into the zoom aspect of it, which is not bad. Let's go and film the pups. I think the zoom is gonna be one of those things where it really is me out in the open vlogging with it that's going to really come into play, you know. Yeah, we'll see. So there's a little test. What I'm going to do, I'm going to take them both out to Gillies now. God, I hope I don't break one of these or mess it up or whatever, but I'm going to vlog with them, see how I get on and use them in the real world. So let's go to Gillies.